Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and here we are again. We've got a fantastic new prompt, so we're all ready to rock and roll. In case you hadn't figured, this is the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery field notes that we've been working on for a few weeks now. Last week I did the butterfly. To be honest with you, I think it was Summer Wildflowers. I can't even remember anymore. No, that was Summer Wildflowers. With its bits in, I can't remember. But anyway, so we're on to a new prompt. And the new prompt is Lazy Days of Summer or Lazy Summer Day, whatever. Now I'm actually going to pull my centre out because I think for the first time since we started this, I am actually going to do a double page spread. Haven't done one yet. So my double spread is going, excuse this chaos, trying to sort all this out, is going to be here. It's going to be smack bang in the middle of my book, and it's going to be these two pages here. So, Lazy Days of Summer. Well, I have got an array of poppy napkins because summer makes me think of poppy seed buns. So, you know, and cooler drinks in the garden and just lovely things. So I've got that. I've got some stamps. I've got some dictionary page that's got poppy on. I've got some fabric to make a poppy with. I've got everything going on here. And I've got this book that I'm going to take the inspiration for this poppy that I'm going to make out of this, but that's going to be right at the very end, so that'll probably be next week. Today I want to concentrate on these. And this is my Edith Holden country diary book. It's completely mauled. It's got loads of stuff missing because I've taken pages out for journals, but there's this fantastic page here with a common red poppy in, which is what got me onto poppies. And then it goes the other way, I think. There is also, where's it gone? There is also, trust me, there is where's it gone? Anyway, there is some rose hips in here also, and I happen to have, there, see, I knew they were just there, some rose hips. Can you even see them? Of course you can. And I happen to have this tissue paper from Alison Bomber, and there are some rose hips on here along with lots of other bits and pieces. So I've pulled out this rose hip, which is just beautiful, and what I'm thinking is that's my actual fold line. What I'm actually thinking is that I could colour this in. As always, there's not going to be a lot of stitching at the beginning of this, I do apologise. Could colour that in and pop that there. I've then got this array of poppy napkins, which could be much more of a sort of study of a poppy, because there's the bud form and the open form, and a much more open form there with a black centre, and maybe we could stamp around that somehow. Look, there's another black centred one. Or I've got this giant one, and then I can stitch some words in it. So without further ado, let's get stop talking and get started, shall we? Right, so I'm going to use gel matte medium to put my tissue papers down, but because I don't obviously want anything going through, I'm going to put this piece of acetate behind the pages like that, and we can sort of jig it around a little bit if we need to. Okay, so I'm going to pop some of this matte medium in here like that. It's got standard paintbrush. Do I want to paint this first, or do I want to paint it once it's on? I think I'll probably want to paint it once it's on. So before we go, I also want to tear out this piece of that says Poppy at the bottom here. So get my tear ruler. There it is. I couldn't see it for a minute. All these PO words. I couldn't find the one I was looking for. So I'm going to get this. I couldn't find one that said rose hips, so we've only really got the Poppy one. It's a bit disappointing, but not a lot I can do about it, unfortunately. And I even went through the papers of Alison's, the Alison Bomber tissue papers I just showed you, but I couldn't even find anything on there either. Right, here we go. So now this matte medium will dry completely translucent, and it will allow me to stitch through it as well. I'll just move that out of the way a minute. I'm going to also use a water pencil. I don't know if you've seen these. And I'm going to use that to cut out the poppies that I want. So I pull this acetate further down and just dip this in. I can just come, I'm hoping you can see this. Oh, see, you don't want too much because that's what happens. It all just disintegrates. You just want a little bit. And then you can pull it out from the main piece of tissue. And so we've got one. And then I want this one that's in bud. So we'll pull this one out as well. I want that one, say, up there. And then we want this one that's got the black centre. So again, just pulling it out. So maybe that one is going to come there, so that this one can come sort of on the fold, a bit like that. Because I want to do the stitched one sort of in the middle here. I'm hoping to get Lazy Days of Summer across the middle there. Rose hip syrup down the bottom, and then maybe poppy seed buns up the top. So I want this middle bit to be empty, so maybe that's going to come further down. So oops, there you go. That's the plan. So let's get these stuck down. And part of the reason you want that raggedy edge of the napkin is because it shows a little bit less when it's got a raggedy edge. If you've got a very straight square line, it's going to show a lot more than if you've got a raggedy edge. And we've got our poppy words sitting there as well. So pop that. There we go. Sorry, not very talkative as per usual. Just busy crafting away. I think I am going to put this one down, and I will colour it once it's dry. So get some more of my gel matte medium. Now this one is going to sit right across there, so just get a bit of glue down beforehand, and it's going to sit there. Now, of course, normally this would be stuck to paper, so it would be don't tear, please don't tear. Now it's interesting that the napkin has stuck beautifully, but for some reason this tissue paper doesn't want to. Right, okay, so we're going to have to resort to the old-fashioned fabric glue. So we'll pick it up, put that on there, and then we'll pick it up. There we go. So you've got to be so careful with these things. You've got to be so delicate. And I think that's because there's glue on that brush. So you're having great fun watching me struggle. Hey, these things are sent to try us, and try us they will. See, now this brush is too small. I'm going to put you on hold and I'm going to go and dry this big brush. Okay, so a little bit of cheating went on while you were gone. and I have stuck it down very slowly without worrying about the camera. So I've got my tissue pieces on, very happy with that. Obviously need to let them dry before we do any stamping. So this is probably the ideal time to look at putting our words on. So I've got my light box, or should I say hubby's light box. Now I'm hoping this is not going to shine in your eyes and make it really, oh, I can't pick it up now, really ugly and glary. So, but it's the only way that I can do it. So I'm hoping it won't be a problem. Let's have a look. Is that too much? No, I think it's okay. Also, I've got to obviously put this underneath. So I'm going to put this underneath my plastic, because part of the thing else, better not get glue on hubby's light box, as we will be in trouble, won't we? See, if I can get there, lazy days. Maybe at the top there. So I'm just going to use my pen. See, there will be stitching. There has to be stitching. Lazy. Oh, this is a big fancy D. Sorry, there's a bit of shouting in the street. Days. Now this pen obviously doesn't want to work where there's wet glue. So that's not going to work, is it? So I'm going to have to let this dry and come back, which is a bit frustrating, isn't it? But you've got the idea. So let's turn that off, because also, as I say, you're getting a bit blinded. And maybe I'll do that as homework and come back just for the stitching part of it. So let's look at how we're going to make this poppy. So what I thought was, I've basically got one, because that's one big petal, isn't it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals. I'm hoping I can see through this. Oh, light box is coming back, isn't it? Oh, goodness me. Right, put the light box back under there, but hopefully it's not going to blind you this time. There we go. So I figure if we have this centre giant petal, here. Okay, cut that one out. That's going to go there, and then I want to cut out this one also. From there. So I get my little scissors, famous last words, little scissors, use these ones. So how are you all? Sorry, I'm miles away doing what I'm doing. Are you all okay? How are you all getting on with your various sewing projects? By now you will have seen the, well, if you watched it, the update of my Just Because quilt. And like with everything else, I'm cheating and moving into October, but you'll know that if you've seen it. Right, okay. So, the idea being that we've got that petal there. It's not perfect, but that's absolutely fine. And then this one, whoops, get back there. I want to draw if I can, that one there, and also this one. Of course you didn't need the light box for this one. Now, oh, of course you can't see that, Claire. How did you even think you were gonna? Duh. So we'll cheat. We'll just cut out a piece and we'll curve it a bit round. Oh, that sort of fits quite well, doesn't it? So that's going to sit there. That's going to sit there. So it's going to sit there. This is going to sit on top like so. And then I've got this piece which I'm hoping I can sit there like that. That one showed up all right, didn't it? So Right, so now we've got this one sitting there, we've got this one sitting there. We need to basically give that a bit of a newbie doobie. So that's going to sit there, that's going to sit there, and then we've got this one sitting there. So now we've got those 3 lovely layers, and what I'm hoping to do is just join them all together with some black French knots to create that centre. So if I get my sewing box down, I could start with red rather than going, oh, that's navy. We don't want navy, do we? Oh, look. How is that? Oh, oh, okay, there you go. So if I can find some black, that's definitely black. And I need to find a needle. I've got so much stuff on my desk now. And there's the little scissors that I was looking for. Right, so, see, stitching sooner than I thought. Pardon me. Now this is actually a stranded thread. So we pull, I have got a black sheepies somewhere that we could easily have used, but because you don't get that separation that you get with the strands, but hey ho. Right, see, I sometimes wonder if you'd rather if I didn't stitch because of this nightmare needle threading scenario we always have. I know there's a needle here that's got a giant eye in it, so let's just use this one and be done with it. Sorry, it probably feels like I'm all over the place to you and it's just been a video of chaos. That's because I had a plan. I didn't have a dream, I had a plan. And I knew exactly where I was going, but of course I didn't allow planning for that glue to dry, so we've had to work a little bit back to front. So I'm going to go straight through the centre there. Have I got both of them? No, I've only got that one. Right, I need to put it back down, work out where it's all supposed to be sitting. I've got this connected here. It's supposed to be sitting there like that, isn't it? So when all else fails, we get out the trusty glue and we just go glue down there, stick, glue there, and stick. Nope. Oh well. See, it's just a video of chaos. Maybe you'd have been better off just not bothering today. Claire, don't damage the light box, for goodness sake. Right, so I've given up now and I've resorted to sewing one piece on at a time. But I will get the result that I want. I know I will. Because I'm just going to keep fighting until I do, basically. Right, and that bit. See, I can't, once I pick it up, I'd lose total track. It is supposed to be there. Okay. Right. All three pieces are now connected. Maybe not very well, but they are connected. Okay. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to go through here. And we're going to pull so that it crinkles up. Look. Yeah. And then if I stitch it crinkled, see, I was going to do this with French knots, but hey ho, it appears that right, I'm going to go through here, has proven to be not necessary. Okay, here you go. We have got a big poppy, a big three-dimensional poppy, to go on our page. That needs to come under there. I know I'm fiddling and faffing, but I've got to get what's in my mind's eye, or else I'm not going to be happy. Right, now I'm going to get another piece of that red lace. You've probably given up and gone home by now, and I've got to be honest, so I don't blame you. But it's the old creative force working. Now I need this one to scoot much more around there. So we need to do a little stitch behind there, like that. Right, back through the centre. That's pulled that all super nice and tight. If I bring this back, because it doesn't look much at the moment on its own, I think if we then put that in there, now I feel like I need another piece of the red. See, I'm just going to keep building this up, aren't I, until it gets where I want it to be. Also, I've realised I've probably been totally off screen, for which I apologise. That's it. I just needed another piece of red underneath. There we go. And then that is going to be, in fact, you know what? Shall we stitch it in? I want to get a stamp on there though, don't I? So I need to get the stamp on before we stitch. Now, is that glue dry enough that I can get the stamp on? Or is it just going to cause me a problem? I suppose there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Because I want that there, like that. Don't ask me why. I just feel like I want it stamped on there. So, black glue, not glue, ink, black ink. Get my stamp on there. Okay, and then take the dragonfly off from last week. And no, I didn't just tear that, that was already torn. There you go. Got a little bit of a square around there. It's not perfect because that glue's not dry, but I like it, and I'm going to do another one at the bottom. So pull that up. Do another one. Whoops. Do another one down here. But obviously I don't want to get it on there. So we use our wordy paper and we put that on there. We can get that on there. Oh yes. Now I feel like, you know, this is the first time since doing this that I've done, as it were, a semi-study. It's all been just pictures and stuff. So bearing in mind, you know, Edith Holden is sort of a study, albeit, you know, a sketch study. I feel like I've finally got a bit of Edith feeling about it, if that makes any sense. Okay, and then we've got this fabulous 3D poppy that I'm just going to stitch down there. And then I'm going to leave it alone to dry. And then when it's all dried, I'll come back next week and stitch up all of those words. So I won't blind you with the light. I'll get the pen work of the words down as like homework, and then I'll stitch them with you next week. How does that sound? Does that sound okay? It's a lot of layers obviously, and this is a really gigantic needle, so it's just taking a little bit of effort to get through. And obviously when it's all dry, look at that, I just think that definitely is a poppy. When it's all dry, I can iron off the ink lines around the pen, and you see, you can still see those boxes because I've only stitched it through the centre deliberately. And I can get the words on, and we might even look at getting, you know, another poppy maybe up there, and we need to get all this painted in as well. But I'm really happy with that. That's what I was envisaging, and I feel like it's worked quite well for me, really. So I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to let this all dry. I'm going to tidy up my desk, and then I'll see you next week, and we'll do some lettering if you want to. As always, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.